All right, and welcome to another Spinato Spin. Again, we do clumps of three, if you will. And this will be one of three. And what's the topic? The topic is environment, your environment. And I'm not talking about pollution and all kinds of information like that. I'm talking about the environment that you spend your most time around, the people you spend your most time around, the ideas you spend your most time about and thinking about. Now let's break it down into three simple processes. Okay, there's a lot of components to environment, but let's just break it down into three simple things. And they're simple questions. It's like, what have they got you reading right now in your environment? What do they got you reading? You know, how detailed is it? Okay, what exactly are you getting out of these readings? The other thing is, what do they got you thinking about? What are you thinking about? And then the last one we'll get into is, what are you actually doing as a result of all this thinking? What are you actually doing? And then what does the environment cause you to do? Or let's not say cause you, it just helped you to get to where you want to be, or helped you to get to where you are. Maybe you don't want to be there. It's all part of what we're going to talk about. First thing, let's get right into it. What do they got you reading? What are you spending your time reading? A lot of people, you know, and especially in this country, they're basically not good readers. All right? Our reading ability has gone down and down and down over the years. A lot of people are distracted. They'd rather watch TV, or they'd rather look at their phone and watch a video there. They don't read. People don't read. But what have they got you reading? In other words, what have they got you so interested in the subject matter that you're reading about it? Think about that. Now, the magic of reading, and the reason why reading is so powerful, is you learn in a certain way in which you remember what's going on. It gets into the whole idea of you. A lot of what happens when people read is it gets into their subconscious. They start thinking about it. They start thinking about it over and over. They don't even realize that they're thinking about it. It has a huge impact. So here's the question, back to the environment. What have they got you reading? I'll tell you what, I'll give my own personal story. A few years back, well, a lot of years back, now that I think about it, had to be at least 30 years back. But anyway, 30 years ago, I went away for a few hours, a weekend or whatever it was, at a certain place where a group of people were meeting, and they were very dynamic. They were very motivated. They were very energized. They were excited about their lives. So I went there and I went to go see what it was all about. And within that short period of time, what happened in that time, in that environment, changed my life. Changed my way I thought about things. Got me reading a lot of different things. Got me really interested in something. See, that's what I'm talking about with your environment. What have they got you reading? You're picking up the newspaper or whatever it is. You're going to certain websites and you're reading about it. What books? They say leaders are readers. How many books have you read this year? What were the topics? Who got you to read the books? Think about all this. This is your environment. This is where you spend your time. Do you have a library card? Who gave you that idea? You don't have one. Who gave you that idea? Who took you to get your library card? Think about all this, that when you start thinking about your environment and you want to do something positive in your life and you're wondering what the boat anchor is that's slowing you down. It could be that simple. It could be that simple that you decided that I'm going to read about all the worst things that have ever happened. Disasters of the entire century. Well, how the heck is that going to help you have a positive attitude? How is that going to help you get where you really want to go? How's that going to help you at setting goals and hitting goals? All those things are all tied together with what they got you reading. And who's they? Who is they? What are the people that have gotten you to the point where you're reading about something that's not helping you? It's an effort to read, but people that read real well read a lot of different things. But what are they reading most? What's on your mind? What is the energy level? Think about the energy level you have to put forward to reading. You have to get the book, you have to get something, you have to get hold of it, you got to get the attention, you got to set some time aside, and you got to take your time to read something. What have they got you reading? And basically it comes down to this: what have they got you looking at? Well, you're looking at ideas. Now you're formulating ideas. What ideas have you gotten from reading whatever subject matter you're reading right now? Is it really helping you? Is it getting you where you want to go? Have you decided, well, by reading this, I can now fix this, fix that, do a lot of things around the house, around wherever I live, or just make something, maybe you want to fix your car or whatever. You got to read about it, okay? You got to read about it. You got to learn. You can learn so much by reading. It's incredible. I mean, see, that's really the exploitation of a lot of students now. They're not teaching the kids how to read. That's the worst thing you can do to anybody. Make sure they don't know how to read. There's a lot of functional illiterates in this country. That's a real scary thing when you think about it. People that you're trying to communicate with something real important, and they can't even read anything. They can't even do any research on their own. You see, when you read, you become more independent. The more independent you are, the more you'll think about doing great things for yourself and becoming something that you always wanted to be. A reader is a leader. A reader shows people what's going on. They have facts. They have ideas. That's what you want to do. What are they making you read? What have they decided that you should be reading? And is it okay? Is that what you want to spend your time doing? Is this what you want to be proficient at? You want to be, an expert person about maybe, dealing cards or something, right? Well, you read about it. You read about who did it. And I'll tell you, the best thing you can do when it comes to reading, read autobiographies. Read autobiographies. They'll inspire you. You'll learn a lot more. You'll learn what that other person learned by going through their autobiography and finding out the hardships that they overcame. I hope that helps you. Next time we'll talk about the subject of thinking. What have they got you thinking in your environment? Have a good one, everybody.